Hey, can anybody hear me? Hello? Somebody send me a message if you can hear me. All right, so obviously a lot of questions are already coming in. First one, do you think Dabo will contact Chad Morris? I think Dabo kind of put that to bed tonight. When I asked him about Tony Elliott, he's the one that pushed for Tony Elliott to get a raise to $2.1 million or $2 million or how much ever it is. And Dabo's just kind of a loyal guy. I think there are going to be changes in the offseason. I don't know what those changes are going to be. I don't know if it's going to be, along the lines of a Robbie Caldwell or maybe a reshuffling of the offensive staff. One of the things that I was thinking about yesterday, was the fact that this staff has undergone a lot of change since that 2016 season. You've lost Dan Brooks off of the defensive tackles. You've lost Marion Hobby. You've lost Danny Pearman now. You've lost Jeff Scott. That's a lot of years of football, and you've been replaced by, guys like Leminski Hall, really no coaching experience. Todd Bates, limited coaching experience. Tyler Grisham, really no coaching experience. CJ Spiller, no coaching experience. Then you've kind of shuffled guys around. So, I don't know what he's going to do in the offseason. I don't think we're going to see anything in the season, but the offseason should be fairly interesting. I think this team is still so talented. I think they can still win the ACC, still head to Charlotte. But, man, there's just some systemic things with that offense that just absolutely have to be fixed. And people are saying, well, what's wrong? Is it one thing? No, it's not one thing. It's different things. It's, somebody showed me a replay of, one of the guards pulling on his own replay. Shouldn't have been pulling. And then he's blocking his own guy. I mean, that's Florida under Will Muschamp-esque, and that's not good. So, offensive line's got to be fixed. DJ overthrowing people on third down, throwing off of his back foot, staring down receivers on pass plays. That's not good. Play calling to me is not good. We were on Twitter yesterday, and it looked like the play calls were fairly easy to figure out. It was kind of like run up the middle or off tackle on first down, going to throw it into the hash or the flat on second down, and something on third down. So, I think this team can still make it. They're going to rely on some reserves to do it. No Will Shipley for 4 or 5 weeks. There's, no Brian Bresee now, no Tyler Davis till the end of the year. There's your starting 2 defensive tackles. Not a lot of attrition you could take. In fact, I was talking to somebody today. Brent Venables may need to go to another 3-man front. Got plenty of linebackers. Those guys are playing well. Go down to 1 defensive tackle and see if you can, try and stop that flood Uh, will we see Will Taylor at QB? I don't know. They floated him out at wide receiver some yesterday. I like him in the slot. I think he would be very valuable as a slot guy. I think that's what they're missing. I think when they moved Justin Ross outside, brought in Will Taylor in the slot, Justin was able to break free. I think that's kind of what this offense has been missing. Somebody in the slot that is a slot kind of a guy. I don't think Justin Ross is a slot guy. I think Justin Ross is a field or a boundary receiver. So I like Will Taylor there. The bigger question is, are we going to see a Hunter Helms or a Tyson Pumachan at some point? How long is the leash for DJ Uiagalelei? Man, I just don't know. And, don't forget Chad Morris and Dabo. One of the faults that people have with Chad Morris, and I'll never forget, is the fact that he would just abandon the run at times, and his offense wasn't balanced, and he would get too cute at times, and people were, when he left, kind of hating on him, and that's kind of been the issue wherever he's been. He had some success at SMU, Arkansas, not very good. Fans at Auburn didn't like it. So I don't know that Chad Morris would be first on Dabo's call list. Not right now anyway. So yeah, DJ's not looking at a second and third option. DJ's kind of steering that first guy down, and then he's not moving those progressions well. When it comes to the offensive line, again, man, just I thought it was interesting that they moved Hunter Rayburn in at left guard yesterday. We saw Marcus Tate there. They started Paul Teo there. Kind of watching it, I thought maybe Paul Teo had the best game out of all those guys. I would love to see Mitchell Mays get in some at right guard. I don't know what the stubbornness is at some of these positions. I don't get it. We ask questions, and we kind of get the coach speak answers. We'll just have to see what happens. I really think that the wide receivers are a big part of it too. You're seeing guys drop balls that don't usually drop balls, not getting a lot of separation, guys running wrong routes. That's what I'm saying. Offensively, it's not one thing. You can point to 8 different things. There are systemic issues that are across the board. And Dabo said tonight he's got to own that, and it's going to be up to him to fix it. So, I don't know if that means has Dabo been really involved in it in the past, few weeks, or is he now saying he's going to get more involved in it? We'll just have to see. Yeah. So Brian Frederick says tight end's giving us nothing. Braden Galloway didn't start. It was Davis Allen. Nothing, man. I'm watching the NFL when I got home today. It was, kind of a long drive back from Raleigh. Watching the NFL today, going back watching some of the college games that are recorded yesterday. Everybody's using the tight end. Travis Kelce, such a weapon for Kansas City. Guys just using that position really as a third down safety valve. And, one of the questions that I'm going to ask Tony Elliott tomorrow, that's his tight ends group. Is it because the tight ends are having to stay in and block so much because the offensive line's so bad that they're just not getting a lot of routes? Is DJ not looking their way? Are there no call plays for the tight end? Like that's actually kind of a really good question. Jalen Lay, we've heard about him. Apparently he's coming on. We know at Clemson you got to block, and right now blocking seems to be at a premium because the running backs weren't very good at blocking yesterday. The offensive line wasn't very good at blocking. Tight ends kind of struggled. And for people that are hating on DJ, I think he has issues, but I would like to see DJ with creativity in the offense, with the offensive line playing well, with the receivers playing well. I don't know if everybody saw my stat, but when he played so good last year against Notre Dame and against Boston College, he had older receivers. He had Amari Rodgers, he had Cornell Powell, he had Travis Etienne. I think 25 of his 31 completions against Boston College were to those 3 guys. Something like 32 of the 39 against Notre Dame, and almost all of the yards were to those 3 guys, and then one real big pass to Braden Galloway. Now you've got a bunch of younger guys, and I don't know how good DJ can be until everything else gets fixed. I just don't know. I don't know. What you do right now. I think if you're Tony Elliott, you got to figure out what our identity is going forward. Are we going to be a running team? Are we going to run some wildcat? We're going to bring Will Taylor in. Are we going to throw it all over the yard with the running backs not doing well? I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot of questions. Yep, somebody provided the update on Shipley. Dabo wasn't real clear on it. I'm kind of hearing that it was, and I hope I get this right, a tibial plateau fracture, which is where it's kind of in the knee there. If you look it up, it says a long time, maybe 3 to 6 months, but I've heard maybe not quite as bad as it would look if you look it up on the internet. And, maybe we're looking at 3 to 5 weeks. So, if you kind of get him through these 2 weeks and then, they've got to Syracuse after the Boston College game, then I think there's an open date. Then after that, maybe you start looking at him coming back. We'll see. This defense needs a lot of help right now, and by that I mean not Shipley on defense, but this offense has to get a lot better and help this defense out. This defense on the field just way too much. Yeah, I don't really know what happened with EJ Williams after the game. I've seen the videos. Talked to somebody really close to him who says he didn't spit on anybody, but it just looked like he got caught in a scrum of people who were in his face, and he responded, and then he went off the field. So, unless somebody comes forward from NC State and says EJ did something, then you just kind of move past that. Yeah, Brandon Spector, he's not sick. That is, one of the things. It's just trying to recover from COVID, and he has had breathing issues. That's just been the issue, and they've got to get him in and get him tested. And there's some heart tests that have to be done before he is cleared to play. Yeah, so everybody else now just coming up with options offensively, and that's another thing. Again, we're going to talk to Tony Elliott in the morning, and I'm sure one of the big lines of question is what are you going to do? How are you going to do an identity? Is it, again, they only get 20 hours a week. So I don't think they're going to be able to revamp everything and say, hey, now we're going to run an option, or, hey, now we're going to do this, or we're going to revert to the pistol. They kind of have what they do. And, they just got to figure out a way to fix it. Jalen Lay looked great in the spring. Yeah, he looked a lot better. He's a big physical guy. Don't know why he's not getting in. I know that there were still some issues about convincing him to be a blocker. If you're not going to be a blocker, we've seen that with Braden Galloway. Braden has not really been invested in the blocking, so he went to the bench. Braden's not sure, if Jalen's not showing that in practice, and he won't get in. No, Brian Bresee has a torn ACL. He's out for the year. Yeah, again, Brian Bresee torn ACL out for the year. So David Richard asked a question: would there be any benefit or upside to Tony Elliott being on the sidelines? I think maybe something that hasn't been talked about a whole lot is that Danny Pearman was in the booth with Tony Elliott last year, since the beginning, really. And now you've got a lot of GAs and people like that are in the booth, and everybody else is kind of down on the sidelines, whether it's Tyler Grisham, CJ Spiller. We kind of asked about that tonight. Dabo said, no, 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 it's not really an issue. We've got good people in place. Uh, kind of have to wonder though if maybe that isn't something that's going on. Can we schedule an interview with Coach Caldwell? Dabo doesn't allow interviews with the assistant coaches during the season. Jeff Scott, don't know. Yeah, I watched Jeff Scott last night. I was texting somebody and saying that I love the fact that there was a lot of that eye candy, a lot of the formations, trying to keep the defense honest, a lot of motion, a lot of movement. Looked pretty good. I think Jeff was a big help. If everybody remembers the play that beat Alabama in 2016, the throw to Hunter Renfrow called Orange Crush or Crush. I think we all renamed it Orange Crush. Crush. That was a Jeff Scott play call. There was something else, but Jeff Scott noticed that Alabama was running, kind of a cover zero there in the end zone, and he called that one. It turned out to be the perfect play call. So we'll see. Again, I just don't know. What Dabo's going to do at the end of the year. My guess is, for people that are looking for a change from the offensive coordinator, probably not going to happen. Marty says, "What do I think is going to come from all this?" It kind of comes down. I think that this is where Dabo Swinney has to take a long, hard look in the mirror, and you figure out what you're going to do. He was asked questions tonight about the transfer portal. Really said, he's looking for the best players, and acted like he wasn't interested, saying that the injuries that happened yesterday would have happened regardless because they've got all the numbers at their positions. In other words, they have 5 running backs. That's their number. They had 8 defensive tackles. That's their number. They have a certain number of offensive linemen. That's their number. And he's not interested. But I think that, like somebody texted me today, man, college football is evolving faster than ever before. You got to keep up or you're going to get left behind. And, that's where sometimes coaches who are stubborn, not saying Dabo's stubborn, but coaches who are stubborn, they'll get left behind. And I use as an example Nick Saban. His defense got lit up by Deshaun Watson in 2015, and he figured out, what, my big hulking linebackers and all that beef on the defensive line built to stop the run. I've got to change that. I've got to go build a defense to stop the spread. After that year two, he started changing offensively. He was more of an I formation, still going to the shotgun at times, but run the football kind of a guy. And he changed that, and he went full spread. He hired guys like Lane Kiffin, Steve Sarkisian, guys who will come in and change an offense, and he evolved with it. It's not what he likes. He gets mad at those coaches when they turn the ball over. He's still going to have that run the football identity, but you gotta evolve, and that's where I think Coach Swinney, he's got to evolve. He's got to figure out a way to maybe change some things. And again, this is a year when, man, the ACC is in a lot of flux. North Carolina goes down and gets, manhandled by Georgia Tech. And, if you don't think NC State's going to lose a game or two here along the way, you're fooling yourself. Um, it's a year where, it was all there for the taking, still there for the taking. But again, just have to fix a lot of these issues. I think Skalski was just a stinger, and I was talking to somebody earlier that said his helmet was taken from him just because he didn't have feeling. He would have gone back in, but man, not nothing against Skalski, but Levante Bentley, Balin Spector, those guys played really good, and I think you're okay there. That's why I said, maybe you go to a 3-man front at some point. Do I think Moffa gets touches this week? I think they got to get him ready. There's no doubt, because now you're kind of down to Mikey Dukes, not a lot of experience. Kobe Pace, not a lot of experience. Darren Rencher, Phil Moffa. They were hoping to redshirt him. I don't know that happens now. They've got time. He's can play 4 games and still redshirt. But hey, it's going to be up to the coaches. But I'd like to see Phil Moffa get out there and get some carries. He's a big guy. He's faster than he looks. He's more elusive than he looks. Yeah, Spector did play out of his mind. He had 19 tackles, and I really love Vonta Bentley too, man. He looks like he goes in with some bad intentions, and it's great. No, I don't think 7-4 is overly optimistic. I mean, this isn't a bad football team. The offense is bad, and if they can fix some of that, it's pretty good. Remember, this is a team that really held Georgia down, and now everybody's anointing Georgia and forgetting, that their coaching staff is kind of they'll find ways to lose games. Alabama's still the class of college football. But, this is a team that's 10-3. And if they don't throw that, interception there, if there weren't some kind of head scratching calls there, they got a chance to beat Georgia. Yesterday, still had a chance to win the game despite just how bad they played. And I thought NC State threw everything at them. The home crowd was into it. The coaching staff, uh, for NC State, man, they've been buying into this game. They feel like the streak is broken. They feel like the curse is broken. And you still look at it, Clemson still had a chance to win. So for people that are giving up or talking about how terrible it is, uh, hey, it's bad. It's bad offensively, but I think they still got a chance. Again, it's just got to be fixed, and say that over and over and over. When it comes to offensive line recruiting, if there was one thing that I would change, it would be recruit more. Whatever Dabo's number is there, I wish they would go 3 or 4 more uh, guys, just so that you have numbers, maybe and help with the scholarships kind of across the board. One of the things that I wrote yesterday was if obviously nobody's ever paid me a dime and will never paid me a dime to call offensive plays, would be just at this point just be creative. I thought that the sweep was there. I thought a reverse was there. Just different things that that's just not being called. And so this week you go, hey, we've already lost 2 games. What have we got to lose? I mean, come out, man. Throw the kitchen sink at people. Do reverses. Do flea flickers. Just go out there and have fun, and uh, you know, maybe not call these plays that take so long to develop, and do the quick game. Where was the slant, man? The slant was there. Middle was open all day. Uh, use the tight ends. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or a brilliant mind to kind of understand that you just take what the defense is going to give you, and you quit trying to put the square peg in the round hole. And that's just kind of what I do. And I think we're about to round this up, as I've got my child behind me trying to hand me a little bit of supper. It's time to eat, and I think we're going to do this again. We might actually do one a little bit later this week. I enjoyed being here, enjoyed answering the questions, and hopefully, again, maybe after we have another 2 days of interviews, maybe we can do this again.